Hello, and welcome back to this month's episode of The Four Horsemen. My name is Paul, representing Diecast Graveyard. Myself, along with Andrew from Maple Leaf Customs, Tom from Caliber 50 Customs, and Harlan from Go Bears Diecast Workshop, make up The Four Horsemen. Now this month, along with The Four Horsemen, our guest horseman from BP Custom Diecast is Ben Pop, all the way from Japan. And he is an incredible builder, and if you got an opportunity, go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube page, because this man puts out some great work and his dioramas are absolutely incredible. So check out The Four Horsemen, also check out Ben Pop. So let's go ahead and get started with this month's build, which is a Volkswagen pickup truck, and the theme is Valentines. I've already drilled out the post, so let's go ahead and get this bug taken apart. Well, I thought I drilled it apart. If you're going to be reusing the axles, make sure that you don't bend the wheels, because it's going to bend up your axles. But we're going to do a wheel swap on this truck. Here we've got the body. It's pretty darn cool. And it's going to make a really good casting for this month's theme. We'll have to paint over the exterior. Here's the base. No big deal there. We're going to do a wheel swap. Here's the interior. I thought about grinding out that fuel can, but it's going to be okay. And here's the windscreen. Let's move on. Let's go ahead and do the wheel swap. Now, like I said, I'm going to take these out, but I'm going to replace them with these beautiful wheels from Sam Ed Wheels. So let's go ahead and take these out. I forgot to do the little clip on this one. Only remove as many clips as you need to in order to get the wheels out. So you don't have to cut all of them. It gives you a really good base to hold the axle in when you go to glue it in place. Now I do take a screwdriver here, a flat tip, and I widen out the little clips that hold it in place so I can get the new axle in easier. Okay, those wheels fit really well, so we won't have to do anything to them. Let's go ahead and get those glued in place while we're here. Here I'm using this JB Super Weld. Now I've been using this a lot lately, and it's a really good product. Now the one thing you need to be aware of though is only put about a drop or so, because if you put much more, it's going to run down your axle and it's going to freeze your wheels. But here I'm using this UV light to cure the glue that's on the axle, and it will hold it in place. Now whether you put the glue in before or after you put the wheels in is irrelevant, but it's just up to you. Go ahead and get that snapped in place. There we go. And let's hit that UV light. About 5 to 8 seconds on that UV light, and you may see a little bit of smoke, but that's okay. That just means that the glue is curing. Okay, that rolls really nice. You can get this at Walmart, or you can get it off my Amazon Marketplace page, which the link is in the description. Now we're going to go ahead and paint the body. Here I'm using this Tamiya surface primer. Now, if you don't sand off the little logos, the little tampos, they may show through, so you're going to have to put down a few coats. This is after we sprayed it with the white primer. That looks really good. You can barely make out the other decals that were on there, or the tampos. Now here I'm using something new. I'm using House of Color paint, and this is a hot pearl pink. And here is the reducer. This is the only thing you may have to mix with that hot pearl pink or some of the House of Color paints, because it doesn't need to be mixed with any hardener or anything, which is really cool. But you only want to use a little bit of the reducer, or just enough to get it through your airbrush. Now this paint is absolutely phenomenal, folks. It's a little on the expensive side, but it'll last you a long time, and the results for the color are incredible. Here I'm putting approximately 2 milliliters of paint, and I'll put a little bit of the The reducer may be like a 4-to-1 mixture, and that'll give you plenty of viscosity, not viscosity, but it'll give you plenty of thinness with that reducer in order to put it through your airbrush. Make sure you close up everything because inevitably you will spill it. So make sure you close everything up when you're done using it. Here we use a little bit of the reducer. Like I said, I do approximately 4-to-1, but you can use less reducer depending on if your airbrush is putting it out or not. If it's giving you a difficult time, put a little bit more reducer. If it's spraying fine, don't worry about it. And it does dry fairly fast, but I still let it set for anywhere from 4 to 6 hours just to make sure that if I have to tape over it or put decals over it, it's going to be okay. But that's looking really good. Now let's go ahead and get this paint mixed up. I use this little handheld mixer, and these can be found on my Amazon Marketplace page also, and the link is in the description. Now we got that all mixed up. Let's get it in the airbrush and get it sprayed. Alright, I've got it all sprayed. Now when this is clear coated, the sheen or the shimmer that you get out of the pearl paint here is absolutely phenomenal. What a great product. It's a little bit expensive, like I said, but it's definitely worth it. Now you can experiment with some of the other great colors from the House of Color. Great stuff. Alright, let's get some decals on here. These are decals I had with a project I did a few years back. So I decided to use them for doing this vehicle here, and they fit out perfect. Once you get these in place, and you use a Q-tip or whatever you're going to use to blot them a little bit dry and hold them in place, just like you see here. Just make sure you roll the tip down with your fingers to get a lot of the loose fibers either packed down or off before you do this. You don't want it to stick to your vehicle when you go ahead to clear coat it. Alright, now this end of the Q-tip is done with the micro set. Alright, in the blue bottle. Micro set helps you set the decal. Now later on, if you have to get that into any complex curves, then you're going to want to use the red bottle, the micro sol or solvent. Those just fit in there really nice. And it's really good that you can take some decals that you've had from a different project and just set them up to use them in something else or repurpose them. There you go. That's looking good. Yeah, that'll work nicely. Here's the decal I put on the front, the little Happy Valentine's Day decal. Look at the shimmer already, and we don't even have it clear coated. That looks nice. Let's move on. Now we're going to do some detailing. Here I'm going to take some of the Molotow chrome pen, and I'm using the big refill bottle and using these little swabs to dab it in to do the headlights. We'll also touch up the door handles and anything else I see fit that might work with chrome. You got to be careful here because you will definitely overdo it. That's a little bit wide, but that'll work. Now let's do this little handle in the back. And again, you just got to be careful. And I spread it out a little bit, but you know what? I'll just wipe it off later. Looking good. Little badge in the front. Sorry, it's out of focus. That's the handle, sorry. There you go. That looks good. Now here's what we got. We got the body after it's been clear coated. Look how nice that looks, that clear coat. Now if everything works out okay, I'll be coming out with my own clear coat system here in the very, very near future. I've been working on it, but just life lessons get in the way, and take over. These beautiful wheels from Samed Wheels, they'll complement that paint job really nice. Here's the interior, that looks good. Here's the windshield. Let's bring our creation to life.
Lies! Lies, do you hear me? Here's my creation! Lies!
And this is what we started with. This Hot Wheels Volkswagen pickup. Now this is a pretty cool casting, and it's got a lot of potential for a lot of other projects too. But we took it apart. We did a wheel swap on this bad boy. We painted it up using the paint from House of Color, the hot pink pearl. And man, I'll tell you what, that product is absolutely fantastic, and I'm looking so forward to working with some of the other colors. But once we got it painted, we put some Valentine's Day decals on there, clear coated the whole thing, and made it look incredible. And what a great build it was for the Four Horsemen. And again, I want to bring attention to Ben Pop over there at BP Custom Creations over in Japan. Check out his YouTube page, please. What an incredible builder, and you won't be sorry when you subscribe to his page. And here's the result. Look at how beautiful this looks. This turned out really, really well. I'm very pleased with it. The paint, the clear coat, the beautiful Samed wheels. It just turned out fantastic. Now make sure you check out the other Four Horsemen builds too. Check out Caliber 50 Customs and Tom, see what he did. Check out Harolyn at Go Bears Diecast Workshop. Check out Andrew at Maple Leaf Customs, and all of the other Four Horsemen builds or builders that contributed to this month's build. And again, go to Four Horsemen Diecast, check out the schedule, because you can do this too. And it's a lot of fun, and you'll have a great time doing this. We'll bring attention to you, your YouTube page, but the only way we can bring attention to you is if you participate in these builds. Now for the month of March, the vehicle is a Range Rover Classic and the theme is Safari. Our guest horseman is Chris's Junkyard Designs. What a great time this is going to be. All builds are due the last day of the month. You can send your glamour shot to fourhorsemendiecast@gmail.com for the recap. And the recap will be on the Four Horsemen Diecast YouTube page. So please check it out. What a great build, what a great theme, and a lot of fun was had by all. If you have any questions, you can contact any of the Four Horsemen to answer your questions for you on upcoming builds, etc. This is Paul representing Diecast Graveyard for the Four Horsemen. Thank you and cheers.